Welcome back to the Barbecue Lab. My name is David Gafford, and today we're going to take a deeper dive into the Gozney Roccbox. It was the winner of our 12-inch Best Pizza Oven video that we put out just a few months ago. If you haven't seen that, I'll make sure I link it down below so you can catch it afterwards. But this oven warrants a deeper look. So this is going to be a standalone review where we look into all aspects of this oven and we dive deeper than we could in that head-to-head video. So let's get it started. The Roccbox is a 12-inch pizza oven, and that 12-inch pizza oven means you can put a 12-inch pizza on the inside. Now, out of the box, it comes with a gas burner, well, propane to be exact, and so that propane burner is right here. So let me get it off and show you. All you have to do is twist it like so, and it comes out. So this is the propane burner that you get that comes with it. You can see we have it hooked to a propane tank off to the side here. There's an igniter on top, and you have your control switch here on the bottom. But one of the things I like about it is that it has just these 3 posts on top that allow you to stick the burner up, give it a twist, and it locks into place. So we're gonna go ahead and get that in here, and I'll show you something around the front. So I said it's a 12-inch oven, and it actually comes with this lovely slotted peel, and this peel is your 12-inch peel that you'll be able to put a 12-inch pizza inside. Now, the thing that I like about this is that this is a nice peel. It's nice and easy to be able to get pizzas on and off, which we'll show you here in a second, but I like that this fits perfectly inside the oven. Now, in addition to having a 12-inch opening, you can also get a wood burner for the back of this. It doesn't come in the box. You can buy it as an add-on, but we're gonna go ahead and cook some pizzas with both the gas burner and the wood burner, so stick around if you wanna see both of those. But this is a nice little add-on you can get to be able to increase what you can do with it, both wood and propane for fuel. So it's called a 12-inch pizza oven, but the opening is 12 inches and 1/4 of an inch wide and 3 inches and 1/4 of an inch tall. So you've got a little over 3 inches to play with from a height perspective and just a smidge over 12 inches from a width perspective with this oven. Now they call this a portable oven, which is true. It is portable, but it's portable at 44 pounds. So it's not exactly super light, but you can carry it. It's roughly equal to what you would get here in the United States as a bag of salt for your water softener. Now it does come with a lovely carrying strap. Looks kind of like this. It's just a Velcro strap that you put around the top and the bottom of the oven to be able to carry it around, and that's a nice thing that comes in the box with your Gozney Roccbox. The Gozney Roccbox is priced at $499, and it comes with a 5-year warranty, which is really a standout in the 12-inch oven game. So if you're concerned about the warranty, know that Gozney is one of the leaders in this price range. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and fire the oven up. All you have to do is use this knob right here. And if you look on this side, which you have to bring the camera around here, you can see there's a nice little fire flame here, and over here, lower flame. So we're gonna go ahead and turn it from off to high flame, and then we'll be able to see around the other side. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this way. I'm gonna send the camera to the other side so you can see it. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start a timer now that it's lit to see what the time is to get this up to temperature. And we're shooting for a floor measurement of around 600 to 700 degrees.
Start.
All right, so we are at right around 11 minutes, just 11 minutes and 50 seconds or so, 12 minutes. And it is like maybe 48 to 50 degrees outside today. It's winter here in Indiana, but we have this thing fired up, and right now we are reading about 760 on the middle of the stone. On the left-hand side of the stone, we got about 710. And the right-hand side, we've got probably about 730. The very, very front, 730, 740 as well. So in about 11 minutes, we're well into the 700s, which is really great for a short heat up time for the Gozney Roccbox. So we're gonna throw some pizzas in here. We're gonna let you see how they do, but let's go ahead and get the first ones going. All right, so this is the burner running on full blast. This is the high setting on the burner. And if you're actually turning it down all the way, this would be the low setting on the burner. So you can see that it changes pretty dramatically, but it's still shooting that fire right into the dome. If you turn it back up all the way again, you can see how much stronger it is. All right, so we finished testing the gas and propane side. Let's go ahead and change this burner over to the wood burner, and here's how easy it comes off. Just a little twist, and then down and out. Here's the wood burner. If you look, open up the side, you have a nice little drawer in here for the wood. But putting this on, it's the same 3-peg system that goes on. Now, in order to get this in, you got to slide it in almost flat. Then you stick it up in the hole, like so, and wiggle it around, and that is it. So, now to burn a wood fire. Usually for lighting a fire in the wood burner, I'll use a little tumbleweed style fire starter, and I'll flank that on each side with a couple pieces of wood. And then I'll take some wood and put it on top, a little bit like that. Light up our tumbleweed. Slide that in, and we're good to go. Pretty easy to light. Then as that comes to temperature, we'll just continue to put wood splits on top to maintain our fire, and we will have wood-fired Gozney Roccbox. All right, this is the grill grate pan that's made specifically for pizza ovens. If you look, there's a grill grate on the inside. These two separate like this. So we have a Lloyd pan, which if you're familiar with Lloyd pans, they're great for Detroit style, deep dish, Chicago deep dish, all kinds of stuff. But this pan is going to be great for us to sear a steak, which is our next test. So we're going to stick this in here to preheat and come up to temperature. All right, so we've had the fire going for a few minutes here, and you can tell that it's starting to burn down a little bit. But now's the time where we can go ahead and add a few more logs to the fire and keep this thing going. But I like that if I'm wearing a nice glove like this one, I can just grab this, move it around, no problem, nice and easy. But a couple sticks every 5 to 7 minutes is probably about what it takes. So we're getting ready to cook this steak. This is a nice ribeye that we got. Now we dry brine this overnight, let this sit in the fridge with some salt on it overnight. And we're gonna go ahead and take our Meter 2 Plus, this nice little unit that we use. This just came out not too long ago, but we really like this for even high heat applications, just like the Gozney Roccbox. So we're gonna go ahead and take this, and I want it to go, see, right about there. So I'm gonna put my fingers here, like that, and then we're gonna go ahead and go into the steak. That way I know I've hit where I wanna hit with the thermometer, and that's ready. Now, we wanna go ahead and put a little bit of oil on the outside. I'm gonna go ahead and use a avocado oil. This happens to be Chosen Foods. This is good avocado oil that we like. But I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of this on the outside. Get that nice and ready to give us a sear. Just notified us it's time to remove it from the heat. We're about 5 degrees away from where we want to be. So it's time to go ahead and remove it from the heat. So let's go ahead and take it out. And there is what our steak looks like. That Maillard reaction on the outside. That is a lovely looking crust that we've got on this steak. All right, we have our wood burner on. We have 3 splits of wood in the back powering the burner right now. It's going a pretty good clip. We got about 700 degrees in there. We have our pizza on the peel. We're gonna go ahead and launch the pizza. And we're gonna show you a real-time cook with this wood burner. Now, right now, what we're doing is we're watching the very, very back of the crust. We're watching it rise a little bit. We want to see that dough rise. And we also want to make sure that it's starting to brown but not getting black. That's really the whole key, is that we're playing a game between the back of the pizza getting dark and too dark, and this front side of the pizza, which is further away from the flame, is not quite ready. We need this front part of the pizza to be able to be hard enough or done enough that we can take a pizza peel, slide it underneath, and not have it fall apart or fold or tear. But we've got to watch the back. We can see that it's starting to raise there in the back. And as it's starting to raise, we know that we're starting to get that really nice pizza crust that we're going for back there. So it's kind of a little cat and mouse game. We're just trying to watch the back, watch the front of the pizza, and see when we think it might be ready to go. I'm seeing a little bit of browning on the back right now. Not a ton, but a little bit. So I find with this wood burner that it just doesn't quite put out the same BTUs as the gas burner does on this Gozney Roccbox. And that's okay, especially for those of you who don't want to do 90-second pizzas. The wood burner might be a better choice for you because it's going to go a little slower and a little lower than the gas burner will. All right, looking at what I'm seeing here, I'm thinking it's probably time for us to go ahead and get in there and give this pizza its first rotation. Just so you know, from the firebox perspective, I have that crammed as full as I can with wood to be able to get this thing as hot as I possibly can. So that's where we are from a wood perspective. All right, goal is get the pizza peel pressing down on the stone so we can get underneath this first part of the pizza and get underneath and pull it out. So we have a little bit of browning that's starting on this edge. All we're going to do is take the pizza, rotate it a quarter turn, and put it back in to get that next side. Now, you can put the pizza as close to the fire or as far away from the fire as you want. I ended up a little far from the fire that time, so I'm going to go ahead and stick it back in a little bit closer. But I'm guessing that we probably made probably a 9 or 10 inch pizza this time. You can put up to a 12-inch pizza in this, but just know that you're going to be really close to the walls of this oven. And I like to find that I like to have a little bit more room to maneuver inside, so we went ahead and went a little smaller on this cook. Now that we're starting to dry out a little bit on that dough, it's going to start darkening a little bit quicker. So I want to make sure I'm keeping my eyes on it before I'm seeing any kind of burning. Now, a telltale sign is looking for smoke rising from the crust. And when you see that, you know that you have some charring starting to go on back there. All right, we're also watching the cheese to see how the cheese is doing, because we don't want to completely blacken the cheese. Now, if you look here, you can see the cheese is already starting to get a little bit of browning on top. So I want to be mindful of that as I'm watching my crust as well. So here for that third side, and you can see that this right here has some nice browning. This right here is quite blonde, and so we want to make sure that we are getting one more turn before the cheese on top starts to really, really brown and almost blacken. So this is part of the game of pizza making. Now you can also see that the flame is starting to dwindle around back. Now, because I can usually get 5 to 7 minutes with 3 small splits in the back of this, but if you are at 5 to 7 minutes and you start running out of flame mid-cook, that means it's time to add more wood. And it might be time, just almost time to add more wood, but I've only got one more side to go. I want to see if I can get it done without having to add more wood to the burner in the back. All right, one more side. Oh, yeah, that's right, one more side here. All right, while we're doing that, I'm going to sneak around the back. I'm going to stick one more piece of wood in while we're going here. Make sure I have the fuel that we need to finish this cook-off. And oftentimes I find that blowing on the back of the fire helps get that new split started. All right, so having that wood started, getting a little bit more flame, that'll continue to come up. Let's see where we are on our pizza here. All right, so we're getting browning on most sides. This side right here still needs a little bit, so let's stick that back in. Get that close to the flame. I'm gonna go ahead and give the fire a couple more blows real quick. And that ought to help finish us off. Notice how the flame has come back. We were starting to lose it there for a second. That's just one more split added to the fire to get it back up to temperature where we want to see it. Let's see where our pizza is. All right, you can tell the cheese on top is starting to blacken. I don't want it to go much further than that. So I'm going to go ahead and look at this and say that is a wood-fired pizza on the Gozney Roccbox. Be careful how much you tilt it for the camera, apparently. Let me see if I can get that. There we go. How about that? Almost. There we go. That way you can see it. All right, so that's a wood-fired pizza. let's go ahead and take a shot at a gas-fired pizza. We have our gas burner installed, and you can see there's a pretty dramatic difference in the flame between where we were with the wood burner and the gas burner. Just to show you, we've had this gas burner running for probably about 8 or 10 minutes, and just looking at the temperature of the stone right now, we are at 900 degrees in the center of the stone, and towards the front of the oven, it's about 820. Towards the back where the flame is, we're about 980, so it's very, very hot. Now what I find is that I need to turn this oven down to be able to cook the pizza. I want that floor to be quite hot, but I'm going to take this, I'm going to turn it all the way down to low. Now you see pretty dramatic difference in the flame there, but that's where I want to have it so I can get this pizza launched. So let me go ahead and get this pie on the peel. And let's get this pie in the oven. All right, now, so we have the pizza in there, and our goal is we want to go ahead and get the crust some color before the cheese gets burned on this gas burner, because the gas burner is so hot that I find that the cheese gets done quite fast. So we're looking at the back of the pizza, we're looking at it for that rise, we're looking at it for a little bit of color to see where that crust is going, as well as here on the front, we're checking to see if that has started to release at all, where we can get that off without messing up the crust. Now look at the rise. You can even see how much it's risen along that back third of the pizza already, which is great. Now I can also see that the top of the mozzarella is starting to brown a little bit. Let me take it out and show you what I'm talking about here. So see, the top of the mozzarella already started to brown. We have some nice browning going on that front. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a rotation, put this thing back in, and let it keep cooking. Now remember, this burner is on low, and we still have a pretty decent amount of heat coming from that burner. So even the gas burner on low is probably almost as good as the wood burner on high in my experience. Now remember, if you're using the wood burner and you go with smaller splits of wood, like almost kindling size, they'll eat up a lot faster, but you will get a nice burst of heat for your pizza cook. So the larger the split, the longer it will last. The smaller the kindling, the more heat you'll get almost in an instant. Now I can see the top of this cheese is starting to almost blacken already, and we're only 2 turns in. See the top of that cheese? Almost blackened. So I'm going to take the side that is the least finished out of this, put it towards the back. Some nice leoparding starting to develop here on this side. But I think in this cook, our limiting factor is the cheese. Now to show you what the cheese looks like, I'll give you a little sampling of our cheese. This is the cheese that we're using. It's like a small cube of mozzarella cheese, low moisture, full fat. But even with that, we find that this pizza oven, it is so hot that the cheese doesn't really stand much of a chance and starts to really get crispy on us. Now, that is a good pizza, good looking pizza, nice rise on the crust on the outside, nice blackening or darkening of the crispy cheese on top. That looks good. So that is a pizza on the Gozney Roccbox using the gas burner. So there you have it, an in-depth look at the Gozney Roccbox. And if you like this video, please go ahead and hit that like button down below. And if you're thinking about making a purchase, please consider using the links down below. We're an affiliate channel, which means that we earn a small commission if you make a purchase, and that's how we earn our living here at the Barbecue Lab. So we want to say thanks so much for watching. I'm David, and behind the camera is Melissa, and we can't wait to see you as we review the best in outdoor cooking and outdoor living. And we'll see you next time right here on the Barbecue Lab.